Diana Carrelli, and I am one of the founding partners at P1M. Today, I'll be sharing some of my perspective on managing COVID as a business owner. So let's get started. Firstly, I want to thank CAFA for including me in this series of speakers. I love their commitment to helping create a space for a conversation and a place for us to learn from one another at this time. My intention in today's talk is threefold. I hope to contribute to the sense of community and to let everyone know that they're not alone in their struggles, to provide some insight in the innovation that we're making as a company and the innovation we're seeing in the industry as a whole, and to hopefully give a different and positive perspective on what we're experiencing and what the future could look like. For those of you that are not familiar with us, P1M is a management company based in Toronto that I co-founded in 2009. It's a female-owned and operated company run by myself and my business partner, Nancy Vanatelli. Our internal office team consists of a very talented and forward-thinking group of people, also mostly women, Gina Crossman, Tiffany Voyatsis, Madison Giuliano, and Caitlin Messam, all led by our fearless agency director, Ryan Greenwood. We are primarily an artist management company, and we represent artists in the fields of makeup, hair, nails, fashion styling, props, and off-figure. We also recently developed a talent division representing notable Canadians Dante Colley and Brooklyn Heights, and have built a network of other talent that we work with regularly as well. For the first part of the talk, we're going to talk a little bit about pre-COVID life and then move through the different phases of work and all the way up to where we're at now. So pre-COVID, our artist division was very busy working on fashion advertising and editorial shoots, as well as celebrity bookings. Our talent division as well was equally busy. We were securing global campaigns like Marc Jacobs and Glossier for Dante, and confirming collaborations with brands like MAC and Lyft for Brooklyn. This work, specifically with the talent division, required a lot of travel to sets around the world, including many trips to New York, LA, and also around Europe. Overall, hands down, 2019 was our strongest year in business. In mid-March, we had a busy 6 weeks ahead of us for shoots and also had quite a few large-scale contracts confirmed. This, of course, all basically changed overnight. Our offices were one of the first ones to close down on March 12th, and we moved to working remotely. There were two major factors that really helped us ease into our work life as it is now. So the first one was the integration of technology. So based on the foresight of our agency director, Ryan, in 2018, we invested in all the necessary technology for each team member to be fully functional remotely. So this included a state-of-the-art phone system, a booking system, and everything required to basically work from a mobile device. The other major component that was really crucial, that we had spent a lot of time working out, was the kinks in our teamwork. Ryan also introduced Gallup into our approach to teamwork, both amongst the team members in the office as well as our artist roster. For those of you who are not familiar with what Gallup is, it's a strength-based approach of coaching, a way of coaching to help understand how and why you perform well at work and how to maximize your work relationships. We spent a lot of months doing self-examination exercises and building team building projects, as well as figuring out strategies around which team members were best suited for specific roles. So when we left the office equipped with these two factors, the right technology and the right understanding of teamwork, we were basically in a position where each team member could hit the ground running. We were able to work autonomously while still being completely connected. Because we had the groundwork in place, I felt like we were in a very good position right off the start. In week one, following our office closures, we saw all the bookings on our charts canceled basically day by day. So we went from having a busy 6 weeks, like I mentioned, to not one single on-set booking. So what we did at that time was just try to negotiate cancellation fees wherever possible to help ensure that the artists got even a small portion of their rates for the jobs that were canceled. And we were pretty successful with that. And then I guess is when sort of panic set in. Every business owner and industry professional reacted differently to what seemed like an overnight loss of business. Each person's reaction, of course, is completely fair and warranted. I feel that for most people, it was that initial period of panic, and then it was followed by a grieving period. My personal and professional response to the whole situation we were facing was to surrender to the idea that, one, things were out of our control, two, things were going to change drastically, and three, to look at this time as one of opportunity and innovation. From the outset, we were completely transparent with our internal team. They knew the struggles we faced, the steps we were taking to try to solve them, and our overall faith that we would come out of it as a team. For both Nancy and I, our office team is like our second family, so our commitment to them was very important, and our goal from the outset was to keep everyone on staff and working full-time through this. At the start of the process, one of my biggest learnings was to learn to ask for help. It was something I was definitely resistant to at first. It's such an important part of building trust, though, within a team. It's an amazing feeling to know that you have others that you can lean on, and on the flip side, it's a great feeling for those to know that they are needed and that they have helped. In week 2 and 3, members of our team did a huge AR push. We were literally racing against the clock to try to collect outstanding payments for our artists before the clients closed down completely. This was a crucial moment in time because it meant ensuring that we as a company had cash flow to continue to run the business, and as well as ensuring that the artists would have as much as possible in their bank account to weather the storm. So thanks to the tenacity of our team members, especially Madison, we were very successful with this, and we were so grateful that our clients overall were coming from a place of wanting to help before there were widespread closures. Weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7 were pushes in strategy, innovation, sales, and just overall hustle. This is where our team really began to shine. It was incredible to see everyone rise to the occasion. I think throughout our time so far, the two most used words amongst the team are pivot and innovation. I feel like these words are used in meetings daily, if not hourly. There might have been a few swear words in heavy rotation as well at the beginning too, but truly these two words are things that we've applied to everything in the company. Sales pitches, processes, communication styles, internal systems, everything. We literally looked at the company and said, let's forget about what we've done until now. If we were to start the company at this time in this environment, what services would we try to sell? Who on our roster or in our network would be able to provide those services, and which clients would pay for those services? The creativity and resourcefulness that each team member brought to the table was amazing to see. And we've definitely seen success in this area. So we've been able to confirm jobs for artists that we're able to create within very challenging parameters. There's also been a strange comfort in knowing that hitting any predetermined sales goals would be impossible for nearly any and all brands and companies. As a result, we really saw this as a time to hit reset on everything. We've been asking questions like, can we change the payment terms in the industry that have been in place for decades? Can we change our methods of payment? How does working in a traditional office setting affect our productivity? Can we make tweaks to this work from office model to result in higher employee satisfaction and lifestyle benefits? How can we rely on technology to help us move towards further efficiency? What types of training could could help our team members develop their superpowers? How can we build our global network to increase opportunities? So in addition to our team strategizing, we've also been a support system for the artists in a variety of ways. We've had regular communication on things like government programs, available online courses, information sharing. We've had one-on-one check-ins, group check-ins, phone calls, FaceTime, Zooms. Overall, our relationship with our artists has shifted into more of like a human relationship as opposed to a business one. So we've tried to give everyone their space, to use this time as they choose. And we haven't been pressuring people to do anything specifically. However, for the artists that are looking for work support, our team members have extended their help in areas of expertise. For example, Tiffany on our team has a great deal of experience with social media strategy. So she's worked with some of the artists on plans for their Instagram. And this has ranged anywhere from posting strategy to helping artists build relationships with brands that are seeking collaborations on Instagram. Gina on our team has worked with artists that were looking to revamp their online brand and portfolio. She's provided custom-made packages for pitches. Yesterday, actually, she sent out a newsletter showcasing what our current roster has been doing while at home during this time. Caitlin on our team has worked on creating new programs within the office for overall team building. And Ryan has completed his training as a Gallup certified strengths coach. So he has been providing professional coaching sessions to the artists and the team members that have sought this out from him. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we have all seen major improvements in productivity and self-awareness through his very honest coaching style. So we're currently in weeks 8 and 9, and for this phase of the company, we've been planning for a return to set life. It's been a process of creating protocols and safety practices to keep our internal team as well as our artists safe while going back to work and attempting to rebuild their careers. Myself and Nancy, with major help and support from Madison, have put together an incredibly extensive plan for back to work. We've consulted with medical doctors, the recommendations by the Chief Medical Officer of Canada. We've done some research using trusted online sources, and most importantly, collaborated closely with many of the extremely knowledgeable artists that we represent. Many of them came to the table with years of insight, of course, as well as current research, and we've compiled all of this into a plan that we'll be using collectively as an agency. Armed with this new set of protocols, we've initiated conversations with many of our current clients and industry partners to offer our ideas and collaborate with them on the best path forward. Going back to work on set requires diligence, the utmost diligence from all parties. We are literally putting our health into each other's hands. So we really feel that communication and transparency at this time is of paramount importance. Some of you out there might be wondering, what will set life look like? Based on our protocols and conversations with clients so far, the main changes will be reduced crew sizes, major changes in on-set practices like catering, communal spaces, sanitation, changes in the process of prep for fashion stylists and prop stylists. We're expecting to have special requests for models. There will be special requests from agencies like us introducing the introduction of a kit fee per shoot day to cover the additional cost of sanitation products. There's going to be increased equipment needed in studio to ensure social distancing can occur. In some cases, there will be options for completely contactless shoots that some clients may be looking into. Extra time will definitely be required on set to get the same amount or less shots as we used to get. And there may also be an increase in outdoor shooting, since being indoors and enclosed spaces is actually a little more challenging to keep everything sanitized and clean. So I just want to take a moment as well to invite any of you to reach out to me if you have any specific questions or would like to see any of our protocols. We've worked really hard on them, and we're very happy to share them or book a call to discuss. So we are now going to be encroaching onto weeks 10 and 11. And what will those look like? I think in addition to the continued sales pushes, we'll be looking forward to signs of what the overall landscape will be, from traditional photo shoots to social content and sort of everywhere in between. Our plan is to reconnect with trusted existing clients and new ones as well. And we'll be asking them, what are your new overall strategies? What are your new needs for images? What are your new needs for social content? And most importantly, how can we help with all of these? In terms of overall sentiments, in general, when it comes to COVID and sort of everything we've all experienced, I think it's totally normal for us to all go through a grieving period of what our lives and careers used to look like. We've all experienced major changes and, are facing major limitations. I do think, though, there is also space for us to acknowledge the speed at which our industry has made positive leaps, many of which we have been so resistant to as an industry up until this point. A major one is the movement to remote work that many companies were not offering in the past, but have now been forced to try. And I think with this experiment of trying it, we now know that it's been proven to increase productivity and impact the lifestyles of employees for the better. There have also been huge positive environmental benefits to working from home and traveling less for things, even like business meetings. I think these in-person meetings that seemed crucial only months ago can be done remotely with the use of technology and a shift in our thinking. I think the availability of Zoom has actually created way more FaceTime between people in the industry, some of whom have never even met. So I know personally I've met with more clients through Zoom during this time than I ever would have been able to do through traditional meetings in the past. There's also been a huge positive impact on family relationships and lifestyle. I think we've all been given the chance to stop and look at what we're doing and make changes based on our intentions as opposed to our habits. So, everything from, looking at what we eat to who we speak to, who we spend time with, where we go, where we travel to, what we buy, and also why we buy it. I think these are questions that I'm not sure people have had the chance to ask themselves in the past. There's also been a huge shift towards social awareness, in addition, of course, to the ongoing conversation around sustainability. I think we're all so sensitive to those in our industry, our peers, our friends that are getting laid off, and the overall loss of work and revenue for individuals and companies. I think people will really rally to the aid of others in a way that we've never seen before, and there will be a return to supporting community-based initiatives and brands. The other major change, which I think is a welcome one, is in the way we respect our own health and the health of others. I think the idea that health comes first is such a major shift in our business. For years, there was a negative connotation to calling in sick for set or work, meetings, any of those things. I think it was considered unprofessional to not show up, even though it meant making so many others around you sick, potentially. This will definitely no longer be the case, and I think this is a huge and positive change for our business. Just one other factor to consider as well is how fortunate we are that this crisis is happening at the time when we can lean so heavily on technology to fill in the gaps of our lives. Could you imagine what this would be like if this crisis would have happened in the 80s with no computers, no internet, no cell phones, no FaceTime, Uber Eats, Instagram, Netflix? I think we're so fortunate actually that it happened during this time where there's still so many ways for us to stay connected with our loved ones and clients. All this being said, of course, look, this crisis has sucked. I mean, we've all suffered in our own ways, but I think we have to hope that what we've learned in this process will help us in the future. And I think the key to the industry in the future is adaptability. One of the thoughts I want to leave you with is based on Darwin's theory of natural selection. He's often misquoted as saying that the strong survive. The strong are the ones that will survive. But what he actually said was, it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but it is the one that is most adaptable to change. I look forward to what is to come in the industry. I'm definitely careful not to say that I look forward to going back to normal, quote unquote. The reality is there will not be a return to the old version of normal. It will be the beginning of something new and something different. And this new thing will definitely have its challenges, but it will also come with possibilities for those who are able to seek them out. So that's the end of my talk. Thank you so much for tuning in to Live with CAFA. The next episode will be hosted by photographer Jason Wu next Tuesday, and he'll be speaking to you about navigating COVID as a photographer. I'd like to encourage you all to connect with me if you have any questions or, like I said, want to see the protocol that we've been working on. You can reach me by social media handles, email. My handle is at Diana Carrelli, just my first and last name. My email address is diana@p1m.ca. And of course, we would love for you also to follow P1M on Instagram. Thank you guys all.